I learned that I liked having my fingers in the dirt. I loved the smell of watering soil. It's the same thing as like opening a fresh tube of paint or watching paint move on a palette. There's something very mindful and cathartic about tending a plant, pinching off the old buds and putting in new soil and nutrients, kind of like singing to your plant when you water them. I love that. I think that that's great. My name is Sarah Simon, and on Instagram, I'm the Mint Gardener. I am a painter, I'm an author, and I've had the privilege of being an educator and a teacher in the art world. I don't mind if bricks are a bit crooked or the mint has gone wild. I wanted my art to go wild. That was kind of like a secret dream inside. I was like, if my art could be like the mint in my garden, to kind of get a life of its own, and I want it to flourish in the sun and in the shade, and I want that sweet aroma of it when you brush past it to kind of carry with you. And I loved the idea that art could be that. That was where my Instagram handle began. I try to share as much of my garden, and I've been moving more into going back a little bit more to the garden and kind of panning out from the page and going, here's my inspiration, here's our common bond. In life, you can choose to focus on the weeds, or you can choose to focus on the new spring and the growth, right? And how every garden, every season is different. And that's what I think in life. It's like, okay, our world has brought us social media. We can use it for the good. I think the garden party reminded me of that deep down, every single person, that first love was flowers. When I started teaching at our local little craft and art store, I knew that drawing was an integral part of creating anything, right? And someone learning to draw, that can take a lifetime to learn to draw well. So if I provided the lines of whatever we were going to paint, all of a sudden it freed people up to be able to say, oh, I can do this. Because at the end, even if they're painting, they just learned to paint that night, they had the bones of the artwork already done for them, so they could walk away feeling confident. Being able to teach watercolor and teach painting that was all inspired by my garden, and then to invite my flower painting club in to paint it with me, it's been probably one of the greatest joys of combining plants and art and teaching and community all together. So that's what I get to do. So the coloring book and my first book basically came out at the same time. And then my third book, which is Watercolor Workbook, still in shock, but it's been the #1 best-selling watercolor book in the world for 3 years. The concept of providing the lines, the watercolor papers inside, people like my instructions, color mixes, all of that combined into one book, and it's so portable. It's just like art in a box. One of my first garden memories, my cousins and I would run through my grandfather's sunflower fields. So when he found out we loved to garden, he worked with my aunt to send me a packet of his sunflower seeds. They topped over 15 feet. And my neighbors, they were all like, wait, where are you getting these? And so the next year I did a bunch of sunflower starts. And so I have a jar every year of new seeds from my grandfather's sunflowers. Gardening is that slow mindfulness, and that I think is something that everyone would benefit from.